Wow, that was amazing. Alright guys, today's project is going to be replacing the trailing arm bushings on this Honda Del Sol. No issue with them, they start cracking. Not sure you can see it, but they're right underneath over there. Anyway, should be a nice little job. I'm going to put it on time lapse while I take the vehicle apart and jack it up and everything. Here, as I try to do it, first I loosen up this bolt. The one that's all the way at the front of the trailing arm. I'm not loosening this one over here because I do not want to affect the alignment. So I just loosen this one. This one will slide down. I can push this thing down without unbolting this when I loosen all the rest of the suspension. I then loosen this little bolt that holds the e-brake cable, and then loosen up the brake line over here so that I can have more play, more room to move the trailing arm when I'm removing the bushing. I hope that makes sense. I'm recording from the bottom of the car. Anyway guys, I hope that makes sense. After removing this, then I'm going to unbolt the, let me see if I can do it, the two bolts right there on the upper part. And then after those two bolts, I'm going to undo these two bolts over here that are on the part of the trailing arm bushing. And the last one that I will do will be the bottom one on the spindle. I'll show it to you. The last one I will do will be the one that goes all the way on the bottom over here. Not the one on the lower control arm. Not that one, but the one that goes all over here. Right over there. I hope that makes sense. I got the whole trailing arm out. Took a little longer than I expected to, but it's all out. I loosened up the brake lines here so that I can move it around more, and also disconnected it from the upper part right over here so we can have more room. Now what I have to do is remove the bushing, which is this one right over here. Alright, so I have the trailing arm set up now so that I can hammer the bushing assembly out. I have a brick and two pieces of wood, so we won't mess up the threads on it. There's no tension at all on the brake line, and the e-brake cable, which some people remove, is okay. It has play on it. Another thing I have to mention, the bushings are directional. The longer part, as you can see, goes towards the inside of the car, and there's a lower part here. You can see lower was cracked, and then an upper part, and then this over here has to be perfectly centered between these holes over here, this one and this one. So if you look at it perfectly from the top, you can see that it's lined up with those two marks over here. All right, so now that I have it set up, and I'm gonna start hammering it. Hopefully it's not gonna take too long. Should be okay, but I'm gonna record it to see how, so you guys can see how long it takes me. All right, guys. So this is what I'm gonna be using: a 3-pound hammer, regular hammer, and that power metal to kind of like use it as a punching tool. Wow, that was amazing. I would have never thought it was gonna go out that easy. That came right out, guys. I put a little bit of WD-40 penetrate, so hopefully it help it slide a little bit easier. but that came right out. Man, that was so good. Thank God. All right, I'm ready to install the new bushing. I just got it out of the freezer. I wish I would have left it in there longer. But anyway, it should go in okay. This one is the one I'm going to be installing. It's actually tapered, which is kind of cool because we'll make it easier to install it. And to install it, you go from the outside in towards the car. And on the outside, you have the same little things, markings, so you can make sure it's perfectly, this part over here, straight between these two circles. And the lower part on this is supposed to be the thicker part, and the skinnier part is the upper part. All right, guys, just to make sure. And it's going to be installed from the outside in. Like I said, the trailing arm right now is sitting on a block, and then I have a brake with 3 pieces of wood, so I won't scratch or anything like that, the metal. So let me go ahead and start hammering in. I'm just going to put it in with a hammer. I'm going to go nice and gentle, and it needs to be flush with this over here once it's fully installed. A little more. This needs to be flushed with this. And I'm using this because when I hit it, it hits it in 2 spots to drive it in more evenly. Alright guys, it's in. That took much longer than removing them. But anyway, I did not want to damage it, so I was going nice and easy. Let me show you what how it's supposed to be sitting flush against this. See, looks nice and flush. So I'm good with that. And then this part over here is even with these 2 marks. So it's all good to go. I started bolting the lower part of the spindle, this bolt right over here. I would recommend just removing this one and not this one over here. I removed that one, but I should have just removed this one and let the shock stay over here. I bolted the one that is all the way at the front of the trailing arm. That one is a little bit of a pain over here. I did not unbolt this because I did not want to mess with the alignment. So it's a little more work because this would be much easier just to unbolt this one over here. But once you have everything loose by the spindle, you can push this down and then unscrew this one. Otherwise the screw is not able to come out. But once you have everything out, then you can do it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a jack, put it underneath the spindle, jack it up so that I can bolt the upper control arm over here, with the 2 little bolts. Then I will start putting everything else back together. But everything is going good. Thank God. All right, guys, let me go ahead and continue setting up on time lapse. All right, so back together. Finished torquing everything back up. Triple check everything, and everything is good. Put the little pin back over here. Torque door spoke, torque the other 2 on the bottom. Everything looks really good. The only one I could not torque was the bolt that was all the way on the front over there. So I just tightened it really well, because that thing was super tight. I have to say, this is not a really hard job, but it's not an easy job to do either. Especially putting it in and having to disconnect all the components pretty much. But definitely save a ton of money by doing it yourself. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys want to help me out, hit the like button and think about subscribing. By the way, this little Del Sol is the one that in one of my videos I painted the hood on. That was quite a few years ago. But anyway, still nice and clean. Looks nice. Pretty much it's always garage. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and finish putting this thing back together. So like I said, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.